Shalom, shalom, Israel, Most High in Christ bless. Happy Sabbath. Can you hear me? Move that banner. Tazara, Abendigo, T. Ramos, Jephthah, Israel, Ida Serrano, Mr. Summit, Elizabeth, Lovett, Harden, Be Nice, Samson, Abigail, Jezekiah, Latanya, Lydia, Renita Israel, Lady Beth Israel, Tracy Moan, Sis Countess Gamble Israel, Guy Israel, Beautiful Donna, Keith, 12 Tribes, Rubabel, Facebook, we got Gabrielle, Zahara, Lynette Garner, Victoria Bot, Israel, Most High in Christ bless, happy Sabbath, Shalom. Glad you guys tuned in. Thank you for staying up. Thank you for your feedback, your response to the content, to the videos. We're going to go over, because I said if the sister posted another video that I will go over it after I see what the feedback was from y'all for from the first one. And it's sad, but this one is worse than what we saw in the first video. Much, much worse. And again, like I said the last time, this is a big topic inside the Israelite community where we don't teach that you women should be a part of a relationship where you're not exclusive, where you sharing a man with other women because of the abuse that you saw in the first video, if you go to the one from last week, and the total control that a man has over you when you let your guard down and you put yourself in a situation like what you see in the video that we're showing here. I had to delete a lot of comments from off my page because, as I said to you before, a lot of his followers support him. They don't care nothing about what that woman is saying. All they're worried about is why did she go and make a video, and you're not supposed to do that. And typical stuff from people who condone the abuse, the physical and the mental abuse being done to people. They're not worried about that there's somebody like that that they listen to that shouldn't be that way. All they're worried about is why did you expose him for the monster that he is? So, like I said, Bishop had already warned y'all for years about when you jump into situations like this, what you're going to expect, what you got to deal with, and how you're just giving someone total control over your life who is not even starting off the relationship right. And this guy boldly wanted to go and be like, look at my relationship, as if to try to imply to you like this is working. And this don't work. Okay? And he's not the only one. There's other groups that are doing this and trying to lead you women to believe that this is going to work and everything's all nice and packaged all well, and just follow my instructions and you'll have the most beautiful life, and it's all a lie. Last video was so much to ingest. I almost got caught up in a situation like that. Sheesh. Can we get away from the name Hebrew Israelite? No. I said it because that's how they conducting themselves. They're not conducting themselves like an Israelite. They're conducting themselves just like the world sees us when they don't have no respect for us. It's just like y'all saying, don't say the N-word, but there's people who act like the N-word. That's the reason why I put Hebrew. We're the ones that taught for you not to follow. So don't come and correct me. Don't tell me what to get away from. We the ones that told people don't call us that because we don't conduct ourselves that way. That's a derogatory term that the other nations that refuse to recognize us as the Israelites put on us. So I deliberately put it in the title the same way when white people call us the N-word, and you're like, don't call me one, but there are them acting like that in our neighborhoods. So if you don't understand, maybe this is not the place for you. Don't put your input here. Can we get away from it? I'm saying it because that's what he acting like. And that's like, duh. You would know that if you're paying attention to us. We was the one that corrected people. The bishop was the first one that brought out, look, don't let that term is not in the Bible. The same way when they call us the N-word and they mean it in derogatory, but there are N-words in our community. Can we get away from it? You don't come here trying to correct me, bro. I've been doing this for a long time. So as I said before, as bad as the stuff that y'all saw in that video, there's a lot of men that support him. And they don't care about her. They don't care about nothing that they seen. Okay? They all, and that's why he'll be able to just let some time pass and then just pick up and continue to do this. That's what's going to happen. He's just going to let some time pass, and you watch, he'll be back on social media because he makes money off you suckers that don't understand how to conduct yourself as a man of God. We just see some of your comments before we start. I'm going to go right in like we did last week. And I let the video speak for itself. I would never, ever, if somebody caught me like that or recorded me like that, I'm not showing my face on social media again. That's not somebody you listen to. That's a very, very despicable individual. We trying to bring our nation back by teaching our people how to act, and he just trying to have women laying on their back. You people that want to entertain that fool, y'all could just reach out to him. I don't want to discuss him here. This is a very serious matter. I keep telling y'all, act like I told y'all he got psychological issues and y'all still addressing him. I don't want to read no comments about him. Yes, so I'm going to go right into the sister's video. Let's play it. Let's play her video. Hey, I'm sorry. Before we play her video, let's play his response to her videos. This was his response to her videos. And y'all tell me if this is a sincere response. First, he shouldn't have said nothing at all. But he was just trying to do damage control. Which to me, all he did was more damage to himself. Some people just need to just be quiet. Just shut up.
My wife did a video exposing me. First and foremost, I just want to apologize to her, and I want to apologize to everybody else who may see the video or who have seen the video. I'm taking accountability right now before a narrative gets spun. In her video or her vlog, she made the claims that I'm verbally abusive. We have bad arguments. I talk harsh to her. And that is true. That happened. And I want to apologize and say I was wrong for that. I have done many marriage counsels. And
you shouldn't be counseling nobody. For a person who's done many marriage counselors, you probably destroyed many marriages. I cannot see this guy counseling anybody with any scripture to paint the right picture. So I hate those people that start apologizing, then start trying to clean stuff up at the same time. Okay, you could have just told her, you sorry, I ain't going to do it no more. I was wrong, with a genuine apology. But now, what time? Oh, we're 53 seconds into his apology, and he's already, not even 60 seconds past, now he's trying to flip it. Let it play.
Most couples get into nasty arguments and say things that they don't mean. That's for one.
You meant what you said because you have a history of doing what you've been doing, as you're going to find out as the video goes on. As long as I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. Let it play.
Two, the video that you did was a bit insincere because you painted it as if we didn't have issues, or you may not have said things to me that were...
So this is the part. This is where the spin comes. It's insincere that you showed the world what type of monster I am because you said bad things to me too. You hurt my feelings too. This is what a narcissist does. Okay, an apology is, look, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said what I said to you. I need to reflect on what I said. I got a problem. I got to learn how to rule my spirit. I shouldn't be treating you this way. Not, well, couples argue and couples say things that they shouldn't say, and it's insincere because you said things to me that hurt me too. Does he look like he's hurt with his G-Wagon and him ruining her credit to get another Mercedes? Y'all got to watch the other video. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, watch the video from last week. Okay? He ain't hurt taking $1,000 from each of these women a month, ruining the other woman credit, already had a $250,000 G-Wagon, and then taking out a loan for her to go get another Mercedes. You said bad things to me too, so it's not sincere. What? We already a minute and 20 seconds into his damage control speech. And I'm showing you how fake it is. Let it play.
Okay, as well. These things did happen, and they happened years ago.
So that's the next thing that they try to do. This is a long time ago. So I don't know why you're bringing it up. Maybe because you're still doing it. You're still treating her like garbage. This is typical narcissistic behavior. Trying to defend why they said what they said instead of just, you know what, it was wrong. I shouldn't have said that to you. I shouldn't have did that to you. Because people like to harm people and say, yo, that was a long time ago. Let it go. When there was nothing done to rectify, I believe you're not supposed to hold a grudge. You're supposed to let things go. But when a person genuinely is sincere about, look, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that, and their actions follow, that's when you let it go. Let it play.
So, what's the solution? We want to try to find some resolves. I had an elder contact you.
Yeah, I had an elder. What elder? Them fake people around you? Them fake clowns you got around you? The fact that you have to get somebody to talk to her because you're not man enough to come and give her a genuine apology shows that you're fake. I don't talk to people. If I hurt the person, I'm going to be like, look, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done it. It's not going to happen again. I want to fix this. Give me a chance to fix this. Whatever time it needs for me to fix this, I'm going to do it. I feel bad about what I did. I had an elder talk to you. No, you had one of them suck to men that you suck, kiss your ass, go to her to try to get her to calm down. That's what weak men do. That's what narcissists do. Maybe if you talk to her, she'll listen. Maybe if you stop treating her like shit, she'll listen. I deal with fake people like this all the time. I'll spend 9 years and 3 months working in a psychiatric facility. I know this type of behavior. Let it play.
And we're trying to find some resolve and solution.
So you got an elder coming in to try and find a resolve, a solution, because you don't know what to do according to the scriptures. This is crazy, man, and y'all buy this bull crap. Let it play.
The problem, I'm not pointing fingers at her at all.
Yes, you are. You said already, you said some things to me. The videos that you're doing, they're not sincere because you said things to me and this was a law. You are pointing fingers because that's what narcissists do. Let it play.
It's her flaws or her imperfections.
Because she has flaws and she has imperfections. So this is why I ruin her credit. I threaten her and I treat her like trash because she has flaws and imperfections. Y'all buy this BS if you want to. Let it play.
Saying that a lot of times when we had these nasty arguments, things were said on both ends, and it's wrong for
that's what he's trying to do. Share the blame. She said stuff to me, and the suckers that kiss up to him, they're going to listen to that and be like, yeah, well, she shouldn't have said the things. Maybe he wouldn't have ruined her credit. Maybe he wouldn't have not threatened to off her and her whole family and tell her I got more money than you. Then I wouldn't have to say those things if you would have spoke nice to me. That's what they want you to believe. While they talking to you like a dog, they try to put it on, well, you're the reason why I had to respond this way. If you continue to kiss my ass the way that I want you to, then I don't have to disrespect you. I don't have to threaten to kill you and your family. I don't have to destroy your credit. If you talk to me the way that that strokes my ego, that makes me feel like the man that I'm pretending to be. Let it play.
Husband to talk to his wife like that, and it's also wrong for a wife to talk to her husband.
You see, he don't have nothing on her saying anything back. But he's trying to spin this fake apology. It's wrong for me to talk like that, but it's also wrong for her to. No, a genuine apology would have been you owning it. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have threatened to kill you and to off your family. I shouldn't have destroyed credit, and I'm going to fix it. Let it play.
The way as well. The narrative that I'm an absent father is also unfair.
It ain't no narrative. You watched in the video last week. He wouldn't even take his daughter to the hospital, and after she came out, he didn't want to visit her in the hospital, and wouldn't come afterwards. Watch the video from last week. Now the narrative. Your page. How is a narrative if the person is telling the truth about what took place? How is a narrative? Just look at the catchwords when you're dealing with a narcissist. It's a narrative here. It didn't happen that way. I didn't tell you when you told me that the little girl was sick to just give her some water and put her to bed. Let her play.
As I have all of my children besides one, and that's Mariah, whose mother was in the world over 10 years ago and is still in the world and has taken her from me. And guess what? I still pay child support.
What that got to do with the apology? What that got to do with the apology? Nothing. This is him trying to, I'm not as bad as she painted me out to be. She's been attacking me too. You're supposed to. You're supposed to. That's your kid. It says it in the scriptures. If you provide not for your own, especially they of your own house, you are worse than an infidel. You ain't getting no points for that. Let it play.
In that situation. Other than that, I have 7 children on this earth, 1 on the way. Other than that, they are all in my life and taken care of. I have 4 stepchildren. They're all in my life and taken care of.
With the amount of money that he's robbing from these women every week, you expect us to believe you driving a G-Wagon, using your other woman credit, and taking money from all of them every month. This is damage control for him to get y'all not to believe the stuff that she put in that video. That's all this is. I apologize, but she was evil to me. And I do take care of my kids, and I'm not a bad dad. Let her play.
Otherwise, they're all in my life and taken care of. So it's unfortunate that me and you had an issue, and really stemming from years ago. Some of the talking points on your video are from years ago, and we came and tried to reconcile that. You came and moved back out here, and we tried to reconcile that. So I never said you had to stay in Seattle. I never said that. We lived separately, so you could get up and leave at your own will, and that's what you did. So I'm making this video because she put out a video. I don't want to put out videos of things she may have done or text messages.
Now, you hear the threat? I don't want to have to put videos on the stuff she did to me. Okay, that's how you know this is BS. I don't want to put videos about the stuff she did to me. This way I could clean my name up. But I'm going to send some elders to sit down and see if they could get you to be quiet and stop making me look bad. Let it play.
She may have said, I don't want to do that. That's nasty. That's ugly. And I never wanted to come public or even address this public. I really don't plan on even responding again. I had an elder reach out to you. So
notice he keeps saying I had an elder reach out. Is that someone that's genuinely sorry for what they did? I got a fake person, fake made up leader come and try to talk to you because I can't talk to you because I know how bad and all the evil that I did to you. So let me see if somebody else could sucker you into letting your guard down so I could continue to take advantage. That's what that means. I had an elder go and talk to you. I ain't never, ever, even when I was in the world, need somebody to go and talk to a woman that I was dealing with. That's so fake. Stop listening to that black Hebrew Israelite. Now, I had an elder. Yes, the reason why they say elders, because they don't have no name of nobody that they have that's credible, that they could say that you be like, oh, so-and-so spoke to him. You know, some of black Hebrew Israelite Negroes that have no, that condone his behavior. That it's just somebody who you trying to get to try and clean it up for you. And it works with some women. It works. Some of the men are manipulative enough to send the right person and spin it so that you look like you're doing something wrong and you need to stop. It does work on certain women. Let it play.
That we can reconcile this and rectify this situation. With that being said, I also want to apologize to the congregation. I want to apologize to the community as well that this drama has to even come up, especially in this time where there's a lot of other drama. But just being accountable, again, I did a lot of marriage counsels where there was these type of back and forth arguments and issues.
That's the spin. That got nothing to do with your mistreatment. I did a lot of marriage counsels. This goes on all the time. He's trying to normalize it. This is not normal what you're doing. And as we're going to see with her new video, this guy's a monster. This is the bullshit that he tries to use to clear his name after she shows you that this guy is a monster. Let it play.
I don't, and people say things that they don't mean when they are angry. I understand that. How a husband runs his marriage or marriages, as long as it's biblical, is what they do as far as the inner workings of it. And
nothing that you did was biblical. Nothing. The Bible says the exact opposite of this guy's behavior. Let it play.
Finances, living situation, that's what a husband, that's his prerogative. And again, I apologize to you. There is a better way of handling this. But if you feel like you want to get your story out.
Listen again, there's a better way of handling this. Okay, as to tell her, what you're doing is wrong. Stop doing it. If you follow this way, we could fix everything and I won't ruin your credit anymore. And I won't treat you like a slave. Okay? And a sex toy. Because that's what it's showing. You put women on the schedule. You come when I tell you to come. If you come on a day that I don't want you here, you got to go back home. Make sure you send your money to me. Send all your money to me. And give me all. I want access to all your finances. You women believe that's a relationship y'all want to go into? You really believe that the Bible paints a picture like that? He can't give you no scripture. Nothing in the Bible to show you that that's how you treat women. And if the kids get sick, I spend 20 seconds with them, 30 seconds I see with them. Whenever I feel like seeing them, don't bring them over. Don't disturb my peace. Let me go to the club. Let me get drunk. Don't ask me to use a car. Don't ask me to take you nowhere. That's a marriage? Let it play.
That's fine. I'm making this response. I do not wish to go back and forth. And behind the scenes in private, we can try to find some resolve and solution to this. All right. So with that being said, I want to give all praise to the Most High and say shalom.
Give all praises to Satan. Let me get the chat back. How many of y'all believe that that was a sincere apology? Put Y for yes. HN for hell no. You said stuff to me, and I don't want to put out the stuff you said. Okay, that's all praises. I see we ain't got no nut jobs with us. You go to his video, he got mad of his suckers that he's taking money from. They're not even addressing the stuff that he said to that woman or did to that woman. Just keep your head up. People go through things like all the generic stuff. I'm here for you. That's how kids apologize. Why you hit him? Well, last month he hit me and nobody said nothing. That's right. An apology is just, look, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done it. It's my fault. They shouldn't have went this far. Okay, so this was after she released the videos that he did that. This is her newest one.
Continue this series, I want to address something that has become very clear to me. Since these videos started, I've heard a lot about resolution, counsel, and elder involvement. What I haven't seen is urgency. Deacon called me after episode 1, and within minutes, Elder Jediah was able to reach out. Brother Hassad previously told me he was working on a plan.
Now pause it. That guy Hazard is a kiss ass, a little demon, a shit starter, and a troublemaker. Okay, that's his sidekick. He's him. I wouldn't even talk to him because he know everything. The same thing Alazar said about him when they both broke off and left from Sakari. Okay, that little put that image up because I know y'all don't know who the hell we talking about. But you always see him in videos with him. The two of them left from Alazar, Gorilla Hebrew, and he said the same shit. Okay, so this is who he's saying is working on something. That's like speaking to his sidekick to tell him, yo, go see if you could suck her into letting me get back into her pockets again. That's all you're doing, taking this little light-skinned boy here. By you listening to him, okay, when every time he's doing his evil with his videos, this guy's right next to him. Every time he's slandering and lying, this little boy is right next to him. So the worst thing you could do is have this little snake here, because Alazar already said it when he left, okay, how ungrateful he is, how he'll be in your house and around his kids, around his family, and still stab him in the back, listening to him. Okay, so that's what she said when he's supposed to be working. They ain't no different from him, except one is light skin and one is dark skin. And one wear a hat and the other one don't wear a hat. That's the only difference between these two. And he ain't got no fear of God. He got that written on his shirt. He fear Hakah. And fear not getting money with him. With the scams they be running. Put her back. It's like talking to the devil's brother. Yo, I know I'm the devil, but see if you could talk to my brother. Bring it back a little bit. That's what she's talking about where he said he's supposed to be working something out. And all the shenanigans and all the every time they attacking somebody, that's his sidekick. He's supposed to be working something out. Well, he wasn't working nothing out when he was treating her like shit. With you, I know he saw everything that's going on. Same way with Alizar say he was in my house, he watched my kids. But when it came time to stab me in my back, he was the first one to do it. Let her play.
Address something that has become very clear to me. Since these videos started, I've heard a lot about resolution, counsel, and elder involvement. What I haven't seen is urgency. Deacon called me after episode 1, and within minutes, Elder Jediah was able to reach out. Brother Hassad previously told me he was working on a plan, wanted to bring my father into a counseling discussion, and wanted to talk about what accountability and support would look like moving forward. But once I continued telling my
See, that's the thing. I want to talk to your father to see if I could get as much as these weak men that are around you to manipulate you into acting like nothing's going wrong and you bugging out. You crazy. Okay, that's what weak men do. Real men be like, look, just give me 5 minutes to talk to you. Okay, not go through other men to see if that's weak, man. Let it play.
all of that seemed to disappear. And that's what I find interesting, because where was this urgency before the videos?
Like I said, where was the urgency? Now Hassad, well, I have a plan now. I have a plan that I worked out with my sidekick, Deacon Hakar, and this is going to be for your best interest. So listen to me. Where was the urgency before when you saw this evil this man was doing? Like you just found it out now. Let it play.
Asking for help. Where was the urgency when I was struggling financially? Where was the urgency when I told people I was at risk of losing housing? Where was the urgency when our daughter was going weeks without contact from
The
her?
urgency is you messing up our money. You messing up our money. So I need to urgently speak to you to find a way for you to be quiet and stop exposing me and stop making me look. Stop letting the people see what type of monster I am. You messing up my flow. Let it play.
Nobody seems interested in discussing those things. Nobody is asking, do you have enough for rent, diapers, how's the baby doing, what would accountability actually look like? Instead, the focus seems to be on stopping the conversation.
That's it. That's all it is. When he said, I'm sending elders, I want to talk to your father, Hassad is working out a plan, everything translation. We're trying to find a way for you to shut up. You're making us look bad. People are going to start looking at me if you don't shut up. People are going to start questioning me. What can I do to shut you up? Let it play.
Deacon agreed in front of me and my parents to provide $1,000 per month in support. That happened once, and then it stopped. Hassad also assured me certain commitments would be honored. They weren't. Leviticus 19:11 says, "Ye shall not steal, neither deal falsely." So my question is simple. Who's holding Deacon accountable? Who's holding him accountable as a husband, as a father, as a leader? Because from where I'm standing, it appears many people are hoping this will simply blow over.
That's all it is. That's all it is, sister. I'm sending an elder to come talk to you. The great Hassad is working out a plan. Don't worry, this will all be fixed. It'll magically go away if you just listen to these men and shut your mouth and stop showing the world what a monster I am. Let it play.
On, and Deacon will eventually return online as if none of this ever happened.
That's all it is. That's all it is. Give it some time. The only thing is he may return back as a Christian. Okay? He's going to leave the Israelite stuff alone, and he's going to return as a Christian because he sees there's more money doing that as a Christian path. You can only shake the Israelites down so much, but there's a larger tree of money in the Israelite community that you could shake because those people don't study. Those people don't read. The Christian community don't read. So all he's looking is if the dollars make sense so he can hop over the fence. That's why he changed the name. Now TC Ministries. No more hat. Let it play.
My issue has never been that I'm a bitter woman. My issue is that I was manipulated, mistreated, financially harmed, and a child was brought into this situation who is now largely being ignored. Resolution is not a call after a video is released. Resolution is accountability, resolution is action, and resolution is changed behavior. And if we're being honest, I have yet to see much of that from Deacon, Hassad, or the elders he claims to be
Because they all fake. They are all fake. Okay? That's she said, to be honest. They ain't gonna change, they just fake. What they want to do is sit you down, sister, and make you believe that you're not experienced what you're going through. That you're just overreacting. That we're really nice guys. That's all it is. Okay? Because the light-skinned one, he talked like a Christian already. He just talked like that fake, like that Edomite, that just fakeness. That's why they work so well together. Let it play.
To my knowledge, Deacon has not publicly addressed his alcoholism, sought real therapy, attended AA, made meaningful restitution, or demonstrated any sustained changes in his behavior. Most importantly, I have not seen meaningful change in his role as a father. The same concerns that existed before these videos are the same concerns that exist today. That is why words alone are no longer enough for me. Through all of this, I want to make one thing clear. My faith in Yahweh has not been shaken. If anything, it has grown stronger. Men can fail, leaders can fail, teachers can fail, but Yahweh does not fail. Throughout this entire process, He has sustained me, protected my daughter, and given me the strength to continue speaking even when it would have been easier to stay silent. Lastly, I've seen many people asking how they can support me. Please do not send me money. I'm not asking for donations, Cash App payments, or GoFundMes. The public should not have to carry another man's responsibility.
Woo! So that's for you people that was posting, she's just trying to get paid. She just told you straight up, this ain't about money. This is about letting y'all see that this guy is moving funny. Okay? Because she could have easily, after she put the videos up, just be like, this is my Cash App and send me money here. Let it play.
The best way to support me is by subscribing, liking, commenting, and sharing the videos so this story does not quietly disappear.
That's right. By making other women aware of that there's monsters like this. Men with Bibles pretending to be men of God. She said, this is all I want, awareness. Okay, which is what the bishop was saying before in his classes when he says, you women, always make sure you have money saved, make sure you have education, make sure you have an exit plan in case the person that you're with turn into a full-blown nigga from the world. Bishop been teaching that for years. He openly says this. You don't hear no Israelite leader, no other camp talking about stuff like that. You women having your affairs in order. Make sure you have education. Don't cut your family off because her families was helping her to be strong. And that's what these evil monsters do. Let her play.
I didn't come here for handouts. I came here to tell the truth. I came here because I don't believe what happened should be hidden. I came here because I don't want people manipulated by the same patterns I experienced. I read the comments.
And for y'all who's saying she's stupid, she should have known. You got stupid niggas defending him. Still backing and supporting him now. Just look at the comments. You the suckers. You'll still act like everything she's saying, it didn't happen, and y'all still supporting him. Okay? I seen the comments on my page. I deleted them off. Attacking me for doing exactly what she's doing. Bringing awareness. As Leviticus 5 verse 1 says, if a soul seeth a sin, or hear of it, or know of it, and he do not utter it, he shall bear the iniquity. So that's what this is about, awareness. Fairness and awareness. That guy is not fair and he don't care. Let it play.
I see the messages. I'm not ignoring anyone. My email is available for those who want to reach out personally, and once the series is complete, I'll be open to interviews, live streams, and answering questions. For now, my focus is finishing the story. Thank you to everyone who has listened, supported, shared, and shown kindness to me and my daughter.
Yeah.
This is another good song. Y'all could go back and listen to the song.
Way more than I should've. but everybody got a line.
Now, I should have used that picture of Kim kicking the door, waving the 4-4. I should have used that. Yes, just forward it. Y'all go back and listen to the song. Just for the sake of time, since I'm not trying to push past your song. It was a good song.
Before I talk about my pregnancy, I need people to understand the situation I was already in when I found out I was pregnant. Because the pregnancy didn't create the problems, it exposed them. By February 2024, when I found out I was pregnant, I was already in a very bad position emotionally, financially, and mentally. The relationship was already unstable, the financial issues had already happened, the promises had already been broken, the control had already been established. And looking back now, I can see that my pregnancy didn't start in a loving, stable marriage. It started in survival mode. By January 2024, I had just learned how much my workers' compensation settlement was going to be, and something quietly shifted inside me. I already knew I couldn't give him that money. I had already sent disability payments week after week. I had already handed over savings. I had already watched my credit be used. I had already been promised things that never happened. I had already been told I would be added to the bank accounts. And by that point, I knew that if my settlement ended up in his hands, I might never financially recover. So I started preparing quietly. I didn't announce it. I didn't threaten to leave. I didn't make some dramatic statement. I just started trying to repair my credit behind the scenes because I knew I needed to be ready for whatever came next. At the same time, he had me sell my car. He framed it like it was the smart financial decision. He said it would reduce expenses, and he said I can drive the Mercedes he put in my name whenever I needed to. So I sold my car. I made about $2,000, and that money didn't stay with me. He took it too. And then after my car was gone, he started acting like I was asking to use the Mercedes too much. I remember thinking, how am I asking for it too much? You're the one who told me to sell my car. I literally don't have a vehicle anymore. So now I'm in Washington, away from my family, away from my support system, dependent on him for transportation, dependent on him financially, and still dealing with my injury. And I hadn't even found out I was pregnant yet. And at that point, we were already on a separation. And that separation came from the bank account issue. Since September, I had been asking about being added to the bank account because that was one of the original promises. From the beginning, I was told that as his wife, I was required to give him my money because he would be in charge of all the finances. In return, I would be added to the account. That was the agreement. But once he had my money, everything started changing. Every time I followed up, every time I asked questions, every time I wanted clarity, every time I wanted accountability, somehow it became conflict. It got to the point where even in front of my dad and chief, he said he would add me the following week. So naturally, I followed up. And instead of following through, I started getting put on separations. Looking back, those separations felt less like discipline and more like a way to avoid answering questions. Because when you're on separation, you're not really supposed to communicate. So by January, we were already stuck in this cycle: promise, no follow through, questions, conflict, separation, repeat. And over time, I started noticing something else. Whenever I brought up concerns I had about him, somehow the conversations would stop being about what I was saying and start becoming about everything that was supposedly wrong with me. He had actually told me before that if somebody wanted to say they had a problem with him, he was going to make a list of problems that he had with them that was much worse than whatever issues they had with him. And looking back, that's exactly what it felt like happened. Because before I started questioning where the money was going, before I started asking about the bank account, before I started asking for accountability, there weren't all these major complaints about me. Suddenly, after I started speaking up, I became disrespectful. I became disobedient. I became out of order. I became rebellious, and I became the problem. And that's why the separation started making less and less sense to me, because it didn't feel like I was being separated for some ongoing behavior that had been there all along. It felt like I was being punished for speaking up. Every time I raised an issue, suddenly there was an issue with me. Every time I asked a question, suddenly I was out of order. Every time I wanted accountability, suddenly I needed correction.
That's how narcissists are. Whenever you start to point out what they're doing wrong to you, they flip it and say, no, it's you. That's how they keep the power of control, and they keep the dynamic so that you look crazy. Then they'll get other people to agree with them. That's why he said, I'm getting people to speak to you. I'm going to get elders to talk to you. Okay? Because if you know you did nothing wrong, nobody don't have to speak for me if I didn't do nothing wrong. I could easily clear things up myself. But that's the way you control a person. Let it play.
Instead of resolving the concerns I was bringing forward, the focus would shift onto my attitude, my conduct, my submission, or my respect. And once I noticed that pattern, it became hard to ignore. But here's what made it even more confusing. Even though we were supposedly on separation, it never felt like a real separation. The separation applied to me when I needed support. It applied when I wanted communication. It applied when I wanted stability, reassurance, answers, accountability, or resolution. But it didn't seem to apply when he wanted something from me. It didn't stop him from showing up at my apartment late at night. It didn't stop him from expecting me to be available. It didn't stop him from wanting intimacy. It didn't stop him from actively trying to get me pregnant. And that's what made it so confusing. Because if we're truly separated, then why wasn't the separation consistent? Why was I being treated like I was too separated for support, too separated for partnership, too separated for security, but not too separated when he wanted access to me? I wasn't receiving emotional support. I wasn't receiving financial security. I wasn't receiving stability. I wasn't receiving the benefits of a marriage, but he still expected access to my body. And over time, that started feeling less like separation and more like a situation where the rules changed depending on what he wanted in that moment. And by that point, even the conversations around money had changed. I remember him asking me in January if I would be upset if I had to go back to work. And the answer was yes. Not because I didn't want to contribute, but because he met me disabled. He knew I wasn't working when we got together. He knew I was receiving disability payments. Yet, after months of collecting those payments and after I had already given him well over $35,000, the expectation was now shifting towards each wife contributing around $1,000 a month. I had already contributed far more than I ever expected to contribute. So, in my mind, the last thing I should have been worried about was how I was going to bring in even more money. Looking back, that's also part of why the tax refund situation was so frustrating for me. People hear that story and think I was refusing to give him money. I wasn't. So in February 2024, I found out I was pregnant. And right before I found out, I had filed my taxes. My refund was supposed to hit on February 29th. Instead, it arrived on February 28th around 9 p.m. since we're on Pacific time and the banks were on Eastern time. And almost immediately after it hit, he called me. I kid you not, 9:02, my phone was ringing. He was on his way to the bar, not calling to check on me, not calling to ask how I was doing, not calling to talk about our relationship. He just called to ask if the deposit had arrived. I told him yes. He asked how much. I told him it was $1,423, and at first he said to send him $1,300. I asked if I could keep some of it. I asked if I can send him $1,000 instead. And one of the reasons I suggested that number was because he had already been saying each wife should be contributing around $1,000 a month anyway. So from my perspective, I was still contributing. I was still sending money. I was still compromising, not because I wanted to hide money, not because I was trying to be rebellious, not because I wanted to spend recklessly. I simply wanted some money in my own account. Enough money so that if I needed groceries, needed gas, needed to buy something small, or wanted to get my nails done, I didn't have to stand at the register texting him and waiting for him to decide whether or not to send the exact dollar amount. Because that had already become my reality, and it was humiliating. When I explained that, he changed it and said I can send the entire $1,400. He told me I didn't need money sitting in my account. He said I could just ask him whenever I needed something. I pointed out that he had a bunch of money just sitting in his account and he spent money whenever he wanted. And that's when he said, I spend a couple $100s a day. You're telling me you want to spend a couple $100s a day? I told him no, that's not what I was saying. And that's when he snapped. I'm not about to argue with you, bitch. Just send me the fucking money. And he hung up.
That's how a nigga talk, a narcissist talk. I'm not arguing with you, bitch. Just better have my money. That's a husband. That's how a husband speaks to a wife that's not living in his house, that he's separated from, that he calls you when he wants money. This is crazy. And I guarantee you he's not the only person doing this. You question any of them other black Hebrew Israelite niggas that's trying to front like it's all good, I guarantee you, more of the women, if you speak to them, they're going through the same thing. Let it play.
I didn't send it, not because I refused, not because I was trying to keep it forever. I didn't send it because, from my perspective, we hadn't even agreed on what I was keeping and what I was sending. So a little while later, he called back. Now I was disobedient. Now I was disrespectful. Now he wanted another separation. Mind you, we had only been off separation for 3 days. I told him this was getting ridiculous and that we needed somebody else involved. He called Chief. We talked, and even then there was no accountability for the way he had spoken to me. It just became another conversation about separation. Eventually, he switched again. He said I could keep all the tax money, that he didn't even want it, that he just wanted distance from me. Chief ultimately decided that since I was not in agreement with the separation, that he would not grant one. So my husband pretty much let both of us know that he didn't want to be around me, and that even if he didn't take my days away for the next couple of weeks, he didn't want me to sleep over, and he didn't even want to touch me. So I was basically going to go over on my days, be a servant, and be emotionally and physically neglected. At that point, I didn't care anymore. He was doing everything possible to make me isolated and lonely. So I accepted that was pretty much the end of the conversation. By then, it was late. I had an ultrasound appointment the next morning and needed the car. Around 1:30 in the morning, before I was going to sleep, I texted him reminding him. He called, and as the night went on, he had become more intoxicated. He said he was going to leave the keys on the tire because he didn't want to see me. I asked him not to do that. I was
All
pregnant.
because she don't want to give him the money. He don't want to see her because she don't want to give him all her money. Okay, when you see a guy is moving like that, don't even tell him how much money you got. Okay? If you want to give him some, fine, but never let him have access to all your money. Let it play.
Freezing. It was raining. It was the middle of the night. I asked him to at least leave the keys at my doormat. After going back and forth, he finally agreed. But then the conversation continued. He brought the money up again. He said, I hope you're happy with your $1,400. He started talking about things he wasn't going to pay for, and I kept telling him I was tired and I didn't want to talk about it anymore. He said I wasn't going to tell him what he could and couldn't talk about. Then he started comparing me to his other wives. He said my other wives would never do no faggot ass shit like this. He talked about how they gave him their tax returns without question. I reminded him that he was the one who had just said I could keep the money and that all I had asked was to keep a small portion of it. While I was trying to explain, he kept telling me to shut the F up, telling me I didn't need to say anything back, that I just needed to do what he said. Then came the insults. Bitch, punk ass bitch, hoe, ugly. So I hung up. A few seconds later, he called back. Still angry, still yelling, still cussing. I told him that he was stressing me out. It's not good for me being so early in my pregnancy and that I was done talking.
This is while she's pregnant. He's calling her the B word, you punk ass B, you hoe, you ugly. This is who you men are begging for. Hold your head up, king. All marriages go, they don't care. These niggas, they don't care about nothing she's saying. It's just blah, 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 blah. Why you letting the world know what type of monster he is? Let it play.
Please just leave the keys and go home. He said I didn't decide when the conversation was over, calling me every name but a child of God. And after about 40 seconds of him screaming at me again, telling me he was going to come over to my apartment and choke me and that no one was going to stop him.
So while she's pregnant, he's threatening to come over and choke her, saying no one can stop me. This is what narcissists do. This is not a man of God. Let it play.
The 20th time he called me a bitch, I finally snapped. I said, stop talking to me like that. What's your problem? Are you looking in the mirror or something? That was enough. He told me he was on his way and that I was going to come outside and say it to his face. At first, I honestly thought he was just angry and drunk, but when I heard the engine roar as he revved it, I knew his foot was applying 100% pressure to that gas pedal, and he was speeding over to my place. He hung up on me. That's when the situation shifted for me because up until that point, it had been yelling, it had been insults, it had been cussing, it had been financial control and threats of separation. But now he was saying he was coming to my place in the middle of the night while I was pregnant after being out drinking because he was angry about something that I said on the phone, a conversation he started and that he escalated. I called my best friend to tell her what was going on, and she stayed on the phone with me. He got to my apartment around 10, 15 minutes later. He called me and told me to come outside, and I told him no, so he said he was coming upstairs. I panicked and I told him not to, but he hung up already. I heard his footsteps coming up the stairs, and I was on the phone with my friend still, and she told me to grab a chair and shove it under the handle so we couldn't open the door. So I did. He was fumbling with the lock because I was holding it down, hoping he couldn't turn the key, but ultimately he was able to turn it and unlock the deadbolt. He still couldn't get in because I had barricaded it with the chair, but once I saw he was still trying to push his way inside, I sat on the chair to add more weight to it and kept trying to turn the deadbolt back to lock. He then kicked my door open. I went sliding with the chair. He forced his way inside and damaged the lock and the door. Once he got in, he grabbed me by my shirt and pushed me back into the counter while screaming in my face.
And she's pregnant. Remember, she's pregnant with his child. He came over there because she wouldn't allow him to disrespect her on the phone. This is what a pimp does. This is what a nigga in the world, this is what a black Hebrew Israelite does. The guy in the beginning of the comments, could we stop using that word? Tell him to stop acting like one. Could we refrain from you like he's so orthodox, like he's so proper? Could we don't use that here? This is a man of God. This is a nigga from the street. Got a plane.
Really spitting on me while he was yelling, so I put my hands up to try to block it from getting in my face. He grabbed my wrist and he kept pushing me back over the counter. He stepped on my foot and he smashed his foot down on top of mine.
While she's pregnant, you stepping on a pregnant woman's foot. This is crazy. This is who y'all learning from. Let it play.
And get to the other side of the counter in the kitchen, and then I went into the bathroom. At that point, I was scared. I was pregnant. It was the middle of the night. I had no family there. I had no real support system there, and he had just forced his way into my apartment. He had driven the Mercedes there, the car that was in my name, and then he demanded that I take him back to his house. I agreed because I needed him out of my apartment and I needed possession of the vehicle. I knew if he left with that car, I would be stuck. So even in that moment, while I was scared, I was still thinking about survival. I was thinking I needed him out of here and I needed to get my vehicle back. I put my clothes on so I could go outside. When we got into the car, I was in the passenger seat and he was driving, and he kept going on and on insulting me, telling me that I wanted to talk like a nigga when we were on the phone, but now that he was in my face, I didn't have anything to say.
Now he's a tough guy. Say it to my face. This is your great teacher, your great leader. Say it to my face.
He was taunting me, saying that since I wanted to talk to him like a nigga, he was going to treat me like a nigga. We hadn't even been in the car for more than 2 minutes. At one point during his rant, I asked him, "What did I say? What did I do?" And when I asked that, he slammed on the brakes, reached over with his right hand, and punched me in the chest.
So he's physically assaulting her after stepping on her foot, now punching her in the chest while he's driving. This is the man? This is who y'all saying, hold your head up, king? Why is she talking about this? Why is she saying it's business? This should have been done in private. Let him beat her ass in private and let him smile to you openly, and you give him all the accolades and praise like he's a man of God. You niggas are fake. Don't trust these wicked, black, evil niggas. These are not men. And there's dudes, even in the comments right now, there's dudes attacking her and defending him. Because it's not just him. There's a lot of other niggas like that. That's all they worried about. Why she's doing this. She shouldn't have said, don't listen to her. They don't care that he stepped on her foot while she's pregnant and punched her in her chest while driving a vehicle. That ain't no man of God. Let her play.
The impact was hard enough that it immediately hurt. It shocked me. I remember feeling pain shoot through my chest and feeling completely caught off guard by what had just happened. I was pregnant. I was sitting in the passenger seat, and the man who was supposed to protect me had just hit me. Before I could even process it, he grabbed my shirt and started pulling me towards him. I screamed for him to let me go, and I pulled away. That's when I started going off, asking him what his problem was, that he had just punched me while I was pregnant and that something was seriously wrong with him, and that he needed help. He kept driving towards his house, still insulting me, still threatening me, still making me feel like I had somehow caused what just happened. He said that I was so ugly and not even his type. That's when he said he was going to pay somebody $20,000 to just get rid of me.
So wait. He's telling his pregnant woman with his child inside of him, he's going to pay somebody like a common criminal, like a mobster, to get rid of her. All because she didn't want to keep giving him money and remaining to be his gravy train. A sucker taking all of the money away from her so he can live his life. Yo, this is crazy. This guy, listen, man, I did a lot of videos against wicked Negroes in the Israelite community. This guy is the worst. And I told y'all this months ago when he was attacking us. I told y'all this. And he became emboldened because all the men around him, they know he's a piece of shit, but they won't say nothing. I told y'all this. And I believe Alizar that he was all, Alizar, there's another video, I just didn't want to play his video of him saying every nigga he was around, they all was like, this guy is no good. He got a history, he got a track record of this. Everybody around him says the same thing, he's no good. This is not behavior that just happens overnight. This is a pattern. I guarantee he treating the other woman just like this. They just too scared to speak up or they don't have no family to back them. But they'll see after a while when it spill over to the kids and they getting old and they realizing that this is what they chose, this monster for the rest of their life. They're going to realize some of the women, it takes time. Just give it some time. Let it play.
To make me feel like nobody was going to protect me. Nobody was going to ride for me. And like there would be no consequences for what he did to me. We were about 2 minutes away from his house and he switched up his tone. He started saying I should just call the police now if he punched me. That if I really thought he punched me, then I should just go ahead and report it because
now he's trying to convince her, I didn't really hit you. If you think I hit you, then you should call. That's that misogynist, that narcissist mind manipulation. I didn't really hit you. But if you think that I hit you, you should call the police. Okay, the same way he doing his videos. Always deception, always something sneaky. Let it play.
I know he was saying that to try to distort my memory. He was attempting to gaslight me and make me think that what was happening was not what actually happened. He was trying to use religion as...
Because it works. There are some women stupid enough to believe that when the man sits them down, I'm not really abusing you. It's all in your head. I didn't step on your foot and punch you in your chest and kick in your door. You're imagining this. I'm really a loving husband, and you should just give me the tax returns and make sure you have my money ready for the rest of the week and just go back to being my slave. What you're experiencing, you're not really experiencing it. Okay? Because he's used to doing this to women. That's why the scriptures say in 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 7, reader.
The book of 1 Peter, chapter 3 and verse 7. Likewise, ye husbands,
Ye who?
ye husbands,
The scriptures is speaking to the husbands. Read.
dwell with them according to knowledge.
Use knowledge, the knowledge of God, the wisdom of God. And what do you do with the knowledge of God?
Dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife.
That man, he ain't show no honor. I guarantee he don't honor none of his women. He is not no man of God. He don't believe what this Bible says. It says to give honor unto your wife, read.
As unto the weaker vessel.
Because the Bible said that she is weaker than you. So he's punching her in the chest and stepping on her foot and then telling her, well, go to the police if you think that I hit you. I didn't hit you. You imagined it. That's psychological control, taking advantage of that. Have the woman always second guessing herself. And it works. It works. But a woman start thinking, well, maybe I deserved it. Maybe I deserved to be punched in the chest. Maybe when he stepped in my foot, I had my foot in his way. If I would have just pulled my foot out the way, he wouldn't have stepped on it. Maybe he just wanted to punch the steering wheel, but somehow my chest was in the way, so he punched me. Yeah, it's all me. It works. That's why the Bible says what, reader?
Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife, as unto the weaker vessel.
Because God made the man masculine and the woman feminine. And yes, you give honor unto her in her weakness, not manipulate her. Read.
And as being heirs together.
Meaning y'all working together for what?
Of the grace of life.
For everlasting life. So you don't mistreat your wife. Okay, even if she is wicked, like she said, where it says step on her foot and punch her in her chest. King David had a wicked wife. He just did not deal with her. Micaiah, you read about it. There's no history in the scriptures of you reading of any of our forefathers stepping on a pregnant woman's foot and then punching her in the chest. You are just what I called you in the title. You're a black Hebrew Israelite. You don't deserve the title as a man of God, as an Israelite. You are a child of Belial. You are of your father, the devil, as Christ says in John chapter 8, verse 44. Read that.
The book of John, chapter 8 and verse 44. Ye are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do.
So Christ said there was people, they didn't deserve the title as Israelites. Your father's the devil. That's evil, satanic behavior. And just give it some time. He's going to flip right over to Christianity. And you stupid suckers that's following him, you're going to go right there and rejoin right up with him. Because y'all black Hebrew Israelite cult followers. Read.
He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth.
That's right. This guy is not in the truth. The truth is to keep God's laws. Read.
Because there is no truth in him.
Ain't no truth in this guy. He's fake, and he has fake followers. You men that's following him and support him, y'all weak and y'all fake. Read.
When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own.
Which is what he was trying to do, to manipulate her with lies. I didn't hit you. If you think that I hit you, well, call the police. He already know the psychological and emotional trauma that he caused, especially while she's with a baby. Okay, because most ratchet women would have been calling the cops on you right away. I know a lot of women that have been abused, and they don't want to get law enforcement involved. Because psychologically, they feel like it's bad if they protect themselves. And he knows that because he's been doing it for a long time. Okay, that's what the leader of Sakari said, that he was a pimp in the world. And he brought that pimping stuff into a lot of pimps, hustlers, drug dealers. All of a sudden, they become men of God. And they don't change those ways. He's not showing behavior patterns of a man that's now reading the Bible and his soul is converted. Let it play.
He kept saying he knew I was going to call the police and that I was going to run to Esau. And I kept telling him I wasn't going to. I
Psychological.
just
There's another camp that says the same thing. Don't get
want
Esau involved. Don't get the white man involved. That's evil if you call them. Let me punch you in your chest and step on your foot. Okay? Let me abuse you, but don't get them involved. If you do that, you're not a real Israelite woman. I could be a wicked black Hebrew Israelite nigga, but if you defend yourself and you call law enforcement, you get Esau involved, you're an evil woman. It works. Don't tell nobody what I'm doing to you. If you tell, you're betraying me. Let me abuse you and you just keep quiet. It works. Let it play.
home. When we got to his house, he got out of the car, but he stayed standing in the doorway so I couldn't close the door and leave. He kept belittling me. He told me I was going to be a single mother. I told him I was feeling sick, my chest hurt, and that I needed to go back home and lay down. I didn't feel good. I said I was feeling too stressed and that I can have a miscarriage because of all this stress. And then he said something I will never forget. He said he was a prophet of God and he was prophesying that I was going to have a miscarriage.
Wow. So he punches her in the chest, steps on the foot, and then says, look, I'm a prophet, and you are going to have a miscarriage. That's psychological fear that he's trying to instill in her to remain controlled, because that's what he has his followers to believe. All those suckers that watch him, all those suckers that believe he's a man of God, he's able to say that. Because he already used the tactics of a witch when he's teaching. If you're a prophet of God, you don't have to announce it. People will see it and believe it and know it. So she's telling him, look, I'm worried. I don't want your child to die. He says, God send me a prophecy. Your child is going to die. At your hands, because you're evil. You're a monster. Let it play.
I had just found out I was pregnant. I was already scared and overwhelmed, and now this man is standing here after everything that just happened, telling me I was going to be a single mother and prophesying that I was going to have a miscarriage. He refused to give me the second set of keys to my own car. He would not let me shut the door and leave. He kept me there until I finally agreed to send him the tax refund. Once I agreed, he moved and he let me leave. This all happened at about 7 weeks pregnant. And I need people to really sit with that, because at that point, this was no longer just verbal, mental, or financial. This was no longer just him being controlling, rude, disrespectful, manipulative, or financially abusive. I was pregnant. I was isolated. I had no car of my own anymore. I had no family around me. I had no real support system there. And now the abuse had escalated physically while I was carrying his child. After that, I made it back to my place. I had to try to fix my door as best I could so it would at least lock and I could sleep comfortably knowing my door wasn't open all night. I was able to unscrew the lock cover and use a hammer to bend the latch back so the door would shut fully. It was locked, but if anyone pushed the door, it would open pretty easily, so I had to call the complex maintenance to fix it the next day. Anyway, that took about 10 minutes. Over that time, he kept texting me. He kept insulting me and pressuring me about the tax money, saying I was a liar for saying that I was going to send the money when he let me leave and that I was going to be a single mother. Eventually, I sent the money and I stopped responding. I was so shaken up, I was nauseous, and I was exhausted. I checked back in with my friend who had been on the phone earlier, and after talking with her, I was able to fall asleep for about 2 hours. I was running on fumes, but I still got up and went to my ultrasound appointment. This was my first time ever seeing an ultrasound of a tiny flickering heartbeat. And all the tech kept saying was how strong it was. I asked if we could listen, and she told me they don't usually allow listening, but that she would turn the sound on for just a few seconds. Hearing my baby's heartbeat for the first time at that appointment gave me a whole new wind of energy. From that point forward, I was only thinking about how I could protect the little life growing inside me. I had called my mom to check in with her because the last thing she had heard from me the night before was that he called me pressuring me about the tax money. She kept telling me not to send it, so when I talked to her again the next day, it took everything in me to bring myself to tell her that I had sent the tax money after everything he had done to me. I had to tell her I was pregnant. I had to sit there understanding my mother was heartbroken to hear this news, that not only had I been physically harmed, but that I was also pregnant by this man. And he knew it. She immediately told me she was not going to keep this from my dad and that he would be home from his out of town work trip the next day and that I needed to tell him what was going on. So that was the plan. I just had to lay low and make it till the next day so I could tell my dad what happened. Once my husband woke up that afternoon, he picked up right where he left off. It felt like I could not get away from him mentally or emotionally. Even after I left the house, even after I was back in my own space, I still felt trapped. I felt so anxious. I felt so sick. I was still being pulled into calls. I was still being forced to respond. I was still dealing with the pressure, the fear, and the emotional aftermath of what had just happened. During one of those calls, he put Alizar on the phone with us. Of course, he denied punching me and kicking my door. He also denied saying he was going to pay someone $20,000 to get rid of me. He said that I had threatened him, that my family had gang affiliation, and that they would be coming after him.
That's how narcissists are. That's why some people, you got to record them. You have to record them, because give it a few minutes, they'll be like, that never happened. I don't know what you're talking about. No, you did that to me. That's not how it happened. You got to record them. When you're dealing with a narcissist, you got to record them, because they will deny, and lie. Let it play.
Basically denied everything. And Alizar asked if I wanted a separation. At that point, I said no, because that wasn't going to fix anything. What I really wanted was to leave the relationship. Of course, my husband laughed about that. He said we needed to be on a separation. Alizar agreed that things were too volatile for us to be around each other. Right before that call was over, my husband made a statement saying depending on which car his date wanted to take, he might be coming to pick up the Mercedes that's in my name instead of driving his G-Wagon that night. That disgusted me. I told him he was pathetic. I had no other words for how sick and twisted he was. Eventually, after he hung up, I decided I was not going to give him that car back again. The next morning, when I called my mom back, she put my dad on the line, and I told him what happened. He told me I needed to get back to California, that he was tired of finding out these things, and it was just getting worse and worse. He said he's not able to protect me being states away, and that I needed to get back to California ASAP. So imagine that conversation. I'm not just calling my parents saying I'm pregnant. I'm telling them I'm pregnant, and I'm telling them what had just happened. I'm telling them about the violence, the fear, the threats, the financial control, the car situation, the instability, everything. And of course, they urged me to come home. After everything I had been through in such a short amount of time, after the counseling calls, after my dad finally heard what was really going on, after it became clear that the abuse had escalated while I was pregnant, I knew myself that I needed to get out of Washington. I was not leaving because I didn't want my marriage. I was not leaving because I wanted to be a single mother. I was not leaving because I was trying to keep him from his child. I was leaving because I was pregnant and I did not feel safe. I was leaving because I needed to get myself into a position where I had support, where I had family, where I had somewhere to go, and where I was not isolated. That is what pushed me to get help. I stopped sharing my location and I blocked him. I went to my complex to tell them what happened, that the door needed to be fixed and that I needed to break my lease. They said they needed a copy of my police report and restraining order in order to do that with no penalty, just the rent balance up to the day that I was leaving. So I went and filed a police report and got the temporary restraining order. Once he was served with the restraining order, he called the bank and reversed the car payment on the Mercedes that was in my name. So now I'm on a clock. The late payment is coming. Risk of repo is coming. My credit is about to take another hit. And remember, I had already sold my car because he told me to. But now, after everything that happened, he reversed the payment on the car that was in my name. So not only had I been physically and emotionally shaken, but now my credit and transportation were being threatened too. And the only reason that did not completely destroy me is because, like I said earlier, I had already started fixing my credit behind his back. I had already started preparing quietly because something in me knew I needed to be ready for anything. I reached out to a domestic violence advocate and they helped me with the rent, and they had placed me in a hotel because I was not safe in my own apartment anymore. And I need people to understand how serious that felt for me. I had already been alone in Washington, away from my family, away from my friends, and now even my apartment was not safe. The place that was supposed to be mine, the place I was supposed to be able to go to and close the door and breathe, didn't even feel like protection anymore because he had a key and he already forced his way in once. He also had my spare car key and could come take the car out of my parking space at any time. During that time, I spoke with another leader in his organization. Captain Tazama was my friend's husband and third in command at the time. And even though talking to him helped me put things into perspective, in reality, what I got was more protection of the system instead of actual support. I was advised not to go through with the permanent restraining order. I was told not to go to court, not to talk to detectives, not to cooperate with anything. I was told that
You see? You see what I said about these wicked ass niggas? They're not going to tell him, yo, don't beat your woman. That's not right for you to beat your woman. All they're worried about is don't get him in trouble when he hits you. Just take the ass whooping and let him continue to beat your ass. Remove the order of protection. That's how to teach. How could y'all call these people elders? How can you say that these people are men of God? That's what the counsel is. Don't get him in trouble. Just he didn't hit you that hard. The baby's still alive. Yeah, he kicked in your door waving the 4-4, but I don't think he's going to beat you anymore. Just leave it alone. Bring him out a little bit. You can't make this up, bro. You cannot make this up. Fake ass elders. Oh no, just leave it alone.
my apartment was not safe. The place that was supposed to be mine, the place I was supposed to be able to go to and close the door and breathe, didn't even feel like protection anymore because he had a key and he already forced his way in once. He also had my spare car key and could come take the car out of my parking space at any time. During that time, I spoke with another leader in his organization. Captain Tazama was my friend's husband and third in command at the time. And even though talking to him helped me put things into perspective, in reality, what I got was more protection of the system instead of actual support. I was advised not to go through with the permanent restraining order. I was told not to go to court, not to talk to detectives, not to cooperate with anything. I was told that we're not supposed to deal with our enemies, meaning the police and the court system, and that these matters should be handled internally.
Yo, this is funny. None of them could control this monster, but just stay there and let him keep kicking your ass. Everything's going to be all right in the spirit. In the spirit of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Barakazah. Let him kick your ass. It's going to be all right, girl. Let it play.
Basically, I was told to be alone, enjoy my pregnancy, move on, and don't pursue anything further. But nobody was really addressing the fact that I had no money, no resources, no stability, no car, no support system in Washington, and that I had just been physically abused while pregnant. At the time, I listened. I decided that because I was leaving the state anyways, I didn't need to pursue a permanent restraining order. And I want to be honest about my mindset at that time. I wasn't trying to keep him away from our child. I wasn't thinking I'm going to disappear and never let him be involved. I was thinking I need to be safe during this pregnancy. I need distance. I need support. I need to get out of this environment. And I want to address something I've been seeing in the comments. A lot of people keep saying I should have stayed, that I should have endured, that I should have worked things out with my husband, that I gave up too easily. But if you have actually listened to this series from the beginning, I hope you can see that is not what happened. By this point, I had already stayed through the financial issues. I stayed through the broken promises. I stayed through the bank account situation. I stayed through the separation. I stayed through the verbal abuse. I stayed through the intimidation. I stayed through being isolated from my family and my support system. I stayed through being told to be more quiet, more submissive, more understanding, more patient, more respectful. I stayed through all of that. So once it came time to leave, my dad flew to Washington. I picked him up from the airport, packed what I could in the trunk in the backseat of the Mercedes, and we hit the road. It took us a whole day to get back to California. At that time, I was around 9 weeks pregnant. The day after I got back, my aunt helped me get another car immediately before my credit would take a hit. That part matters to me because I don't want this story told like I was just blindly going along with everything. I was scared, yes. I was controlled, yes. I was manipulated, yes. I was in a very vulnerable position, yes. But I was also trying to think ahead. I was trying to survive. I was trying to make moves quietly because I knew I could not rely on him. So when people say I should have stayed and tried harder, what they're missing is that I did stay. I did try, repeatedly, in many ways. This entire series is a story of how long I kept trying before I finally accepted that trying by yourself cannot fix a situation the other person refuses to change. I did not walk away at the first problem. I did not walk away at the 10th problem. And I definitely did not go public before exhausting every private option I could think of. At that point, in March, I had no contact with him. I was back in California. I was trying to stabilize myself. I was trying to process what happened. I was trying to get through the first trimester. I was trying to protect my peace and protect my baby.
Yeah, stay with him and let him beat your ass more and treat the child like trash. Okay? That man don't care about nobody but himself. And look, again, the reason why I'm playing this for y'all is because we warned y'all. This stuff, don't try to make it look like these guys know what they're doing. They just niggas with Bibles manipulating women. Especially when you see a bunch of idiots like that protecting him. Okay? If you getting your ass kicked by someone in our organization and you tell us and we speak to him and he continues to keep doing it, you go to law enforcement. Okay, if you see that he's not reasonable, he don't want to listen to leadership, he don't want to stop, you go to law enforcement. If you realize that he does not have no respect for the men around him, he has no respect for God, he don't want to listen to counsel, the next thing you do is protect your neck. I'm not telling you, women, go and run and bring everybody into your business because things go wrong in a relationship. But if there's no one that he will respect, no one that he'll show remorse like, yo, it's wrong, I shouldn't have done this, then sisters, go and tell law enforcement. You ain't gonna have no sister saying, yeah, I told him, and he told me just keep staying there and getting your ass kicked. Okay? And stepping on your foot while you're pregnant and punching you in your chest. And telling you, where's the tax returns? Hey, remember, I forgot the skit. It was from the Mad Rapper. Did you get the check, dog? Did you get the check? You lucky I didn't have that ready. Okay? Did you get the check, dog? That's all he cared about. Did you get the check? Can I keep 100 for myself? I'll send you 13. No. I want the whole check. This guy's a monster. And give me Psalms chapter 11, verse 5.
The book of Psalms, chapter 11 and verse 5.
And like I said, this happens to black women every day. But this is supposed to be a man on video saying he's a man of God. So you're held to a higher standard. You are held to a higher standard, not robbing her, stepping on her foot and punching her in the chest, and not listening to the men around you that's telling you stop doing that. Read.
Psalms chapter 11 and verse 5. The Lord trieth the righteous, but the wicked and him that loveth violence is his soul hateth.
God hates you violent men. Read it again.
The Lord trieth the righteous.
He tries the righteous. That's why we have to be on our grind and have the Most High on our mind.
But the wicked and him that loveth violence,
That's him. He's wicked and he loves violence. Read.
his soul hateth.
God's soul don't like you. You are not a man of God. That's the lowest thing you could think of, beating on a child and a pregnant woman. Because whatever trauma you doing to that woman is going to the child. You don't even care. You don't even care. God don't like you. You are not a man of God. He said, my soul don't like people that move that way. Give me Psalm chapter 58, verse 1 and 2. That's what the white slave master used to do to us. Line up the pregnant woman and let them see the physical abuse so that the fear could be instilled in the child. That's what you're doing. You punching a pregnant woman in the chest, stepping on her foot, kicking her door down, calling her ugly, telling her you're nothing. That trauma's going to your child. You don't care about her. You don't care about your kid either.
The book of Psalms, chapter 58 and verse 1. Do ye indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do ye...
Now that's what you got to ask those men. Are you men of God? Are your actions after this woman told you this stuff, is it righteousness? You're supposed to be a congregation? Read.
Do ye judge uprightly?
Are you judging uprightly and telling her, don't worry about it. Let him beat your ass and just hand over the tax return money and keep that $1,000 a month that he want coming. Even though she's on disability and says she can't work, he already blew through all her finances and ruined her credit. And the one G-Wagon was not enough. Use your money to get me another G-Wagon. This is crazy. And y'all backing this guy. Y'all a bunch of black Hebrew Israelite ignorant niggers, man. We all need to come together. No, we don't want to be around y'all ignorant niggers. Y'all worthless, no good niggers. Stay by yourself. We don't want that thought process around us. You can't build nothing with evil black men like that. Read again.
Do you indeed speak righteousness, O congregation?
Do you men speak righteousness? Was the counsel that you gave her righteous? I wouldn't even want her saying, well, I talked to Deacon Asaph, and he said to me, oh, just don't worry about him beating you up. Just stay through it, endure it. But Deacon, he punched me in my chest. Did it hurt? What, did nobody never hit you before? Is that the first time you got hit? He called me a bitch. He called me a bitch-ass nigga. He said my other wives are not like this. Well, you need to be like the other wives. No. Read.
Do ye judge uprightly, O ye sons of men?
You're asking what's her occupation. She said in the beginning of the video she's on disability. He met her on disability, and he took her disability money. That doesn't mean you can't have a credit score. She could have had good credit before. A nigga will find out your credit score and then take your money and push you out the door. Okay, it's easy to take someone with a good credit score and you could go into a dealership. Y'all don't know nothing about credit or buying nothing? Read.
Yea, in heart ye work wickedness.
In your heart, you're a wicked man. Read.
Ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth.
You weigh the violence of your hand in the earth. You don't care about weighing righteousness in the earth. Taking the opportunity to be a righteous leader. You don't care about that. You want your violent hands to be what goes out through the earth. You should be ashamed of yourself that someone could say, you stepped on my foot and punched me in my chest and was cursing me on the phone like a dog while I'm pregnant with your child. What verse you read to?
That was the end of verse 2, sir.
Read verse 3. I forgot. What's that, verse 3?
Verse 3, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born.
That's why some of you, you'll never change. You were born that way. You were born wicked and evil.
Speaking lies.
And that guy's a liar. If you don't have him recorded, you need to document everything with him. Whenever you hear a man say, well, I'm sending one of the elders to talk to you, it's because you're not a man. Then you already know that you've done so much. You want to see if somebody could soften her up so you could put her back in a position where you can manipulate her again. Give me... Psalms 139, verse 19. Because he told that woman, I'm a prophet, and your baby is going to die. How evil could you be? How about, look, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have hit you. I'll go with you to the ultrasound. Let's make sure the baby, he don't care, sister. That man don't care.
The book of Psalms.
Okay, he manipulated you, and he's showing, he was, all he was there was to manipulate you and in return hate you. Manipulate and hate at the same time for his benefit. He don't mind sticking a baby in you because that's how he could use that to his control. He don't care about the seed, that life. There's a lot of dudes that they'll get you pregnant because it's a best way for him to control you. Read.
The book of Psalms, chapter 139 and verse 19. Surely thou wilt slay the wicked, O God.
He's saying he want your baby to die, but the Bible says what?
Surely thou wilt slay the wicked.
God will slay the wicked. Read.
O God, depart from me, therefore, ye bloody men.
And that's what you say. When you got men that are not afraid to shed your blood, God says, depart from them. Read.
For they speak against thee wickedly, and thine enemies take thy name in vain.
And that's what he's doing. He's taking the name of God in vain. You punch a girl in her chest and step on her foot that got your child inside of her, then say, God told me the baby's going to die. No. The Most High will bring judgment on you. You're an evil man. Give me Proverbs chapter 10, verse 6.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 10 and verse 6. Blessings are upon the head of the just.
If you're a just person, blessings will fall on your head. Read.
But violence covereth the mouth of the wicked.
Violence covereth the mouth. That's why he's able to tell us, shut the F up. You're ugly. My other baby moms would never do this. That man hates you. Don't let nobody convince you anything else. That's why you hear stuff like, let's sit down and let's see if we can resolve this. And I'm going to send elders to go and talk to you. And Hassad, my sidekick, he's going to use his white voice because he just looked like an Edomite to me. He got an Edomite spirit. Okay, I never ever saw him like with the spirit of how an Israelite moved. Let him speak to you and let him smooth things over you and use mind control on you to make you believe that what you're experiencing you're not really experiencing. Read again.
Blessings are upon the head of the just, but violence covereth the mouth of the wicked.
That's why if you play back the stuff he's saying from last week, the video I did, if y'all missed last week, you people that, some of y'all don't tune in regularly, go back and watch the video from last week. And you'll hear what was coming out of his mouth, threatening to kill her. saying, I'll kill you and kill your family. I got more money than you, but did you get the check, dog? Did you get the income tax check, dog? Make sure you send it to me. The check landed at 9 o'clock at 9:02. Did you get the check, dog? That's all he care about is the money. Give me Proverbs chapter 28, verse 17. This is how God feel about you narcissists, you violent, that's a low life. You beating on a woman that's pregnant with your baby.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 28 and verse 17. A man that doth violence to the blood of any person.
Read it again.
A man that doeth violence to the blood of any person.
Because that's how some people are. They respond with violence all the time. Read.
Shall flee to the pit.
Meaning God wants you. You telling her baby gonna die. You punch her in the chest and then tell her baby's gonna die. God sent me a vision that your baby's gonna die. Make it make sense. And y'all supporting this dude. This is who y'all supporting. Read it again.
A man that doeth violence to the blood of any person.
You punched your baby mama in the chest and stepped on her foot. Read.
Shall flee to the pit.
You go to the pit. You don't tell her baby's gonna die. And it's like I said, that's probably him on the fake account typing gaslighting. No, you lit your own ass up. Just watch the video from last week. Those are his words. You heard what came out of his mouth. I don't have to gaslight nobody. You walk around with gasoline drawers. Every time you open your mouth, you light your own self on fire. Gaslighting. Ain't no man of God. That's that. Like, didn't I tell you that in Clubhouse? That's the new thing now. When you show somebody how wicked they are, you're trying to gaslight me. No, you cannot gaslight me. You cannot gaslight me. It ain't going to happen. That's the new thing now. You're gaslighting me. How? If the truth is coming out, that's what it feels like. Your ass is being lit on fire because you're a damn liar. You're gaslighting me. Look how you're gaslighting. Because the truth hurts. The truth hurts. Psalms chapter 140, verse 11. This is why the Most High is put the spirit on that sister to be like, enough. Y'all praising this man, buying his content, and letting him sucker you and get rich.
The book of Psalms, chapter 140 and verse 11. Let not an evil speaker be established in the earth.
And that's what his flunkies want. They know he's evil, but they're trying to establish him on the earth. They know he's evil, but he's like, yo, I'll go talk to her. And I'll convince her that the punch in the chest was nothing. I'll convince her that stepping on your foot. I know some women, they get, I think it's called edema, where they can't even wear their regular shoes because their feet swell up from the pregnancy. How you going to step on a pregnant woman's foot? That's crazy. They could barely walk. Their feet hurt. It's swollen. Their legs swell up. Are you stepping on her foot and it's E-D-E-M-A. I think it's edema. I'm not sure. You woman, if you know, you could type it there. But y'all got to think about this psychologically. That's a monster. He don't care about nobody but himself.
Let not an evil speaker be established in the earth.
Because his friends are trying to let him be established on the earth. God says what?
Let not an evil speaker be established in the earth.
He's an evil speaker trying to establish himself, changing up the doctrine all the time, attacking other Israelites that ain't even saying nothing to him.
Evil shall hunt the violent man.
Evil's going to hunt. You telling that woman, to God show you a vision, I'm a prophet, your baby's going to die. What type of evil shit is that? And you niggas are still defending him. Y'all still defending him. I wouldn't go and speak nothing to. I would just be like, look, sis, I'm sorry you had to experience that. I'm going to talk to him, but I'm not coming here on his behalf to put a Jedi mind trick on you and tell you he's really a good guy. He didn't really mean to step on your foot and punch you in your chest. And that's what y'all got to look at. Look, when you see a man like that, look at his circle of friends. Look at the people that he moved with. They just as evil as he is. No way a man of God would feel comfortable. I couldn't defend that. The only way I could defend it is if I see, look, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done it. You guys are right. I'm going to fix it. That's the only way I will speak to say that. Hey, you know what, Dara? Dara said, this BHI reminds me of Peter Moses. Remember, about 12 years ago, it was all over the news about a black Hebrew Israelite doing the same thing, talking about he had 5 wives, and he had them living in his house, giving them all the money, and he killed one of the wives and killed one of the kids because he did not like one of the kids. Okay, so he killed one of the kids and killed one of the wives. I don't have the original video, but I got this one. Another Israelite camp had one over this. I forgot his name. But play that video I sent to you. For you people who don't know, this is the same exact blueprint of how Peter Moses was, abusive. Got the woman to come and live in his house and let their guard down and think this multiple wives things is going to work. This happened in Durham, North Carolina, 12 years ago. And we was on it the same way, telling you women, stop listening to these dudes. You got 5 women, but you beating on the kids and killing one of them when you don't get your way. This guy got the same pattern, like you said, of Peter Moses. Now, I couldn't find the original video. I found this one. This is another Israelite guy doing a commentary on him, on Peter Moses. Let it play.
And hopefully this video will go viral, you know, and other brothers will get the information and pass it around. And I say that because, you know, this is what I've been saying for over 3 years about these cult members, that, you know, this can't lead to any good. You know, the hatred they have for their women, or the hatred they have for black women, is starting to manifest. Now, you know, you have what appears to be a GMS cult member. He could be an ex-cult member, but clearly the teachings of the Envious One, Tahar, the Beast Man, Rakar, and the Askis of Gabar, that spirit resonates within a lot of brothers, including this brother convicted for murder. I pray that this is just some nut, but you know, clearly it doesn't look like that, because when you look at the brother's garments, you know, this is typical GMS bumwear, you know, GMS fashionable bumwear.
It's always some bum trying to find some way to get a whole bunch of women and take money from them. This is the repeat thing here, but just extended violence for the women that stay in silence. Let it play.
You know, I pray that this is not what I think it is, man. I pray that this is not what I think it is. But let's go to that footage as far as the news report. Tahar, man, if this is right, if this information is correct, Tahar, the Most High is going to deal with you, man, because this is proof that you don't have 100% of truth. And, you know, I'm not even saying this to bash you. I'm saying this for the younger men to come out of this cult. And I know they're already leaving. So this is footage coming from Durham, North Carolina. Check it out.
New insight into the thoughts of Pete Moses. He's the accused mastermind of 2 murders connected to a religious sect in Durham. Moses will be sentenced next week for his role in the deaths of Jaden Higginbotham and Antoinetta McCoy. WRAL has obtained nearly 200 videos posted by Moses on YouTube, talking about his faith and beliefs. Those videos were taken down after officers began their investigation into the deaths. Adam Owens has been going through the videos. He's here to tell us what he's seen. Adam?
Jared, many of these videos are around 8 minutes in length. In them, Moses appears to be an open book, showing off his multiple wives and what he thinks and believes in.
Same thing Hakar was doing. Saying this is, watch the video from last week. Okay? He coerced all of them to come together and take a picture and make it look like we're just living this happy, magnificent life. It's the same thing Peter Moses was doing with 5 women that he was manipulating. And he decided he didn't like one of the kids, so he made the woman kill the child. And then another woman was like, no, it's just only a 5-year-old child. So they killed the mother, and all of them went to jail. Okay, so don't listen to this black Hebrew Israelite stuff that, we could do it and we know how to make it work. No, these wicked niggas always been around. Let it play.
In many of his videos, Peter Moses can be seen reading from the Bible and giving his interpretation.
Doesn't this look typical? Like a typical GMS young man bumite video? Someone looking crazy, sitting in a small apartment or home.
And you women fall for that. You women fall for these bums. These dudes are bums. You don't never see no family. And GMS is another group. They hate black women. They openly speak evil of them. I don't even bring them up no more because they're irrelevant. Nobody don't know who they are. When I be mentioning them, people be like, who? So that's why I don't bring them up no more. But I remember when this first happened, and they were saying that he was with him, and they were saying no, he wasn't. But because he looked like a bum, and he had that same hatred for black women, and that's how GMS is, that's why they were putting this on them. The same way Deacon Hakal would always talk shit about the bishop and about IUIC, that's the same way GMS used to do it. They hate black women, talk shit about that Bishop Nathaniel, and talk about and do videos to get views about IUIC. Deacon Hakal learned from GMS. They openly say that's where they started. So they were following the same pattern of these wicked niggas that hate black women, but come with Bibles and do videos and manipulate you black women and put you in a situation where you fighting for your salvation. Let it play.
What they learned from the elders. Check it out.
Of what it means.
I'm gonna introduce my women. I have 4 wives.
He introduces viewers to his wives. The women call each
See,
other
to
sisters.
sit them down and take pictures to make y'all look like it's all good.
They
Okay.
play games, study the Bible, and share chores around the house. Money they earn is given to Moses, they say. In one video, the women
So I heard them say all their money is given to Moses.
talk about
This
their
is this is not the first time. We showed y'all this before. Let it play.
living together.
It's still, hard.
And then he records them. Then he puts the video up after he coerces them to say what they're supposed to say to make them believe that this is working. Same thing Deacon Hakar did. Put the video up, put this is not Netflix, and make a fake video to make people believe that it's working. Meanwhile, they all living in separate houses and got to pay him $1,000 a month, and they're on a schedule where they could come and see him. Now, you women want to live a life like that, knock yourself out. But this is crazy. Let it play.
Moses has a lot to say about women.
You was cursed to serve us. You are our possession. Get that through your head.
That's what GMS teach. Okay, and that's the mentality. You women are cursed and you're supposed to serve us. Okay, and that's why you got women that hate the Bible and they hate God because of stupid, ignorant niggers like this that's manipulating the scripture to paint a different picture so that you women become victims. Pull it back a little bit. Did the same thing Deacon Hakar believe. That's why he's like, shut the F up, bitch. I don't like you. I got no problem putting a baby in you and I don't like you. Remember last week he said in the video, I got Brandy pregnant and I don't like her because I can make money off her. That's all it is. Let her play.
It's still, hard at times, but it's getting easier and easier day by day.
Moses has a lot to say about
Listen to what he says. This is his mindset. And this is what he's using to move. What woman will want to be in a relationship with him? These women already got psychological issues. So it's easy to manipulate them. That's why the Bible says they are the weaker vessel. Let it play.
a lot to say about women.
You was cursed to serve us. You are our possession.
God never, there's nowhere in the Bible you can see where God cursed the woman to serve the man. It says your desire shall be unto your husband, meaning he's supposed to be to guide you. Not for you to be a slave. He's talking about Genesis chapter 3, where because Eve went against God and entertained the devil, God says your desire is going to be unto your husband. It's not wrong with your desire being unto your husband if he's a man of God, because he's not going to treat you like a slave. Let it play.
And he talks about what will happen to those who disobey God.
A lot of you hate order. You hate instruction. And that's why the Lord's going to kill a lot of you.
In some videos,
Same thing he told her, I'm a prophet. Hakan said, I'm a prophet, and God told me your baby's going to die. Here's the guy saying the same thing. You women hate instruction, and God is going to kill you. You'll be judged for your not following the instructions of God, but we're set to listen to a monster that all they want to know is when your income tax check is coming, and don't break your schedule of when you're supposed to come to my house while I'm driving a G-Wagon and running up your credit. You can't make this up, man. You cannot make this up. This is crazy. Let it play.
Preaching with others in public, talking to people as they pass by.
When you look around you, it's all vanity. It's emptiness. Everything you got, it can't save you.
On camera, Moses refers to himself as an elected one who looks forward to end times. He envisions a kingdom where he will be surrounded by women. Moses also seems angry at the wicked.
Okay, that's what GMS teach. In the kingdom, you'll be surrounded by women. So to hell with these nigger women here. There's numerous videos of them talking like that with their hatred. And that hatred spreads and it breeds more monsters. This video was 12 years ago. And here you got this guy now. Same thing he's doing. Taking their money, making them look funny. Let it play.
Sees in the world.
Times ain't nothing compared to what's about to happen.
He says those who do not repent will not survive.
I don't know it all. I don't claim to know it all. But I know enough to know right from wrong. I know enough to know what is expected of me and what to do and what not to do. You know what I'm saying? The Lord knows my heart.
And we now know he is connected to 2 deaths. A lot of the video contains obscene language and cannot be shown on television. And many of them you can also see children or hear their voices in the background. Jerry.
Damn shame. But I want to bring your attention to something.
Okay, you can take him off, because that guy, I forgot his name. I remember the last time we saw him. He was visiting one of the members from, I think it was Lions of Israel camp, got injured. And the bishop said, let's go to the hospital and visit him. Let's give him some money. And he was there, the same guy in this video, I remember now, and they was treating us like shit. Okay? They wasn't appreciative of us, our presence being there. And I said, it is what it is. At least we took the step to show that even though we don't see eye to eye in the scriptures, they still are brothers. But I remember going there and they treated us like shit. That's why we stay away from you Israelite camps. But I remember him that night. That was the first time I saw him in person. The guy in that video, I just forgot his name. And he was trying to act like nobody don't even know who you are now. And he was trying to dismiss us like we nothing. But it's all good, though. Give me 1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1, because they said he's a deacon. The Bible give you instructions on how a deacon is supposed to be. First Peter's chapter 3, verse 1 to 7. Let's read the whole thing.
The book of 1 Peter, chapter 3, and verse 1. Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wise.
So you women can speak up to correct your husband with the word, and you win them over with your conversation. It's obvious she wasn't winning over this guy with no conversation, because he don't care what the Bible say. He just want to get things his own way. Read it again.
Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wise.
It don't say get no elders and no leaders. If the woman knows how to speak spiritually, you're supposed to win your husband over. Not let him sucker you. Well, I know I treated you like crap, but listen to this fool over here and see if he could get you to do a mind trick to make you think it's you. Because that's all it is. When he says, I'm getting an elder to talk to you, or I have Hassad work out a plan, it's just a mind trick to make you look like you're all imagining the pain and the suffering that you're going through. Drop down to 7 now.
Verse 7. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge.
Not acting like a wicked nigger. Read.
Giving honor unto the wife, as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered.
I'm sorry. Because if you're mistreating her, the Bible says your prayers will be hindered. Get Titus chapter 1. And start with gosh, I hate this thing. What's going on here? What you saying? Yes. 1 Timothy 3, verse 8.
The book of 1 Timothy, chapter 3, and verse 8. Likewise, must the deacons be grave, not double-tongued.
Like he is. He's double-tongued. Read.
Not given to much wine.
And he's a drunkard. Because she said he got to go and get... You can't use drunkenness as an excuse to mistreat people. Read.
Not given to much wine. Not greedy of filthy lucre.
That's why he was... Did you get the check, dog? Did you get your income tax check? When you going to send me the money? He doesn't fit none of the qualifications to become a deacon. He's not grave. He's double-tongued. He's a drunkard, given too much wine, and all he cares about is money. How does he have the name Deacon on him? This is crazy. Read again.
Likewise, must the deacons be grave, not
serious. Grave means serious. Stop taking life for a joke. You're in the bar and you drinking. You're in a club. You treating your kids like trash.
not double-tongued.
And you speaking out both sides of your face.
Not given to much wine.
And you're a drunkard.
Not greedy of filthy lucre.
And all you care about is the income tax return and making sure the check come. You're a hateful person. You're a mean, nasty, narcissist person. No. Give me... where is that? Sirach chapter 31, verse 30. Surah 29.
The book of Sirach, chapter 31 and verse 29. But wine, drunken with excess, maketh bitterness of the mind. With brawling.
That's why you want to become violent when that liquor hits your system. Read again.
But wine, drunken with excess.
You're a drunk.
Maketh bitterness of the mind.
And we heard your bitterness. You're ugly. You fool. You're not like my other baby mamas.
With brawling.
And now you're ready to fight. Punch her in her chest and step on her foot and threaten her. I'll kill your whole family.
And quarreling.
And all you want to do is argue. She says she want to get off the phone. You just want to keep arguing. You probably drove over there drunk to go and argue with her and fight her.
Drunkenness increaseth the rage of a fool.
And that's how you is. You're a fool. And when you drink, it comes out. Read.
Till he offend.
Till you offend. You offended that woman. And, well, she said things to me, too. I'm not going to bring out the things she said. Man, shut up. Read.
It diminisheth the strength and maketh wounds. Rebuke not thy neighbor at the wine, and despise him not in his mirth. Give him no despiteful words. Press not upon him with urging him to drink.
So some people, they like to rebuke you when they're drunk and then apologize to you afterwards and then blame it on the alcohol. This ain't the Jamie Foxx song, blame it on the alcohol. Something is wrong with your spirit. You are a nasty, mean, evil person. Look, how long we been on so far? So look, I'm not staying here all night. I just wanted to I just feel this just downs my spirit. I wish he wasn't like that, to be honest with you. I wish we didn't have to talk about this. Okay, because a lot of people follow him and listen to him. I wish he was a good father and he was a nice person and the woman couldn't come and have those things to say about him. But he's a piece of shit and some of y'all trying to act like he's legit. And he got the nerve to try and attack us or any other Israelite group for that. And he got demons inside of him. He got the damn devil on his back. Yes. Hey, Dr. Israel, go back and watch from last week. This was horrible. That's that's the link there. You watch from last week. And sister, don't listen to these stupid niggers that's attacking you online. They don't care about you. They don't care. Don't explain yourself. You could pick up and fix your life and move on. These people don't care about you. Don't give them no explanation. You did the right thing, especially when those men around him, he don't listen to them. He's not following no counsel. He's putting his hands on you. Okay, so what you supposed to do? I could understand if you could take comfort in the men are going to hold him accountable and he's going to listen. But when you're dealing with a monster that feels I got you all by myself and can't nobody do nothing, and I'll kill your family, I'll kill you, I'll turn into a nigga, I'll leave. Listen to the stuff he said last week. What's she supposed to do? You wicked niggas that's condoning this behavior, the Most High gonna judge you too. And that's not a marriage. You ain't in no marriage with him. Okay, he doesn't deserve the title as your husband. You are not in a marriage with him. Stop letting these black Hebrew Israelite niggas run game on you, then put shame on you. Then everybody else put the blame on you. Most High in Christ bless and shalom. And listen, I forgot. Y'all could also, we was discussing this on Clubhouse also. For you people that follow on Clubhouse, if y'all want to talk, y'all could come on the Clubhouse. We do it 6 days a week. The only day we're not on is on the Sabbath day on Saturday because we're broadcasting live. But for you people that's watching the video and y'all want to ask questions, that's the Clubhouse app. Download this app to your phone. Once you have this installed, you go to our room, which is Biblical Smoke. It looks like this. Okay, and we could talk. We could talk. I'm in there every day. And if I'm not in there, one of the speakers can help you. Y'all got gripes, y'all got complaints, y'all got questions, y'all got a topic, just come into the Biblical Smoke Room. We do it 24 hours a day for 6 days a week. Okay, but that's our room. It's called Biblical Smoke. Most High in Christ bless and shalom. Was asking me about Carmelo Anthony. We went over it for 2 days, for hours. So just go back. You can watch the replay on Israelite Social. We went over it for 2 hours. We took calls. People were calling in. So I didn't want to bring it up again. Okay, we went over it for 2 days, for hours, for 48 hours. That's our YouTube page. You see us? We spoke about Carmelo Anthony there for 10 hours. Damn, I didn't even realize. And then we brought up, because Charleston White was giving the father the family instructions. I'm not sure what the details was. So we went over it again the second day. So I know most of the people here, y'all was already in Biblical Smoke. But y'all could go back there. I don't know, and I'm sure the other teachers are going to bring it up. And we did it on Upload. Pull that up. Upload God's Laws. We went over it again. What it says there? Who failed these young men, Carmelo Anthony? We did it for 3 days of discussion. We got over 50 hours of discussion there. 10, another 10, another 10 hours. Slide up, let me see. Another 4 hours plus 12. Okay, we got like 50, 60 hours of discussion on this with the when you look at all 6 of these videos. So we discussed it for 50 hours. All you got to do is go back to listen to Biblical Smoke. Okay, because we went over it all week. Most High in Christ bless and shalom.